Well, with a day to go and a weekend just ahead of us, you can grow your investments today with Zabu. Dial star 292 hash, that is the USSD code that you'll definitely utilize to grow your investment and kickstart off your investment journey. Zabu is a platform by Autox East Africa, and it does remind you to do something new always. Now, the only new thing that you can do today is by investing in bonds and securities, and it's that simple and that easy for you to at least kickstart off your investment journey. How about if you do start off that investment journey today with Zabu and make your investments count? It will be so important and so helpful to you as an individual. Zabu is actually a no hassle for you to grow your investments, and you can definitely kickstart off your investment journey today. Dial star 292 hash, and with a minimum of 15,000 Ugandan shillings, you will be able to invest in bonds and securities. Markets here open at 8:15 a.m. and close at 3:15 p.m. East African Standard Time. Zabu says, my money, my future. Zabu is powered by Autox East Africa, which says, do something new. And now crossing over to Karibu, East Africa, we start with Kenya Airways. Meanwhile, Kenya Airways has resumed daily flights to New York as the demand towards that route has risen. Now, the Airways has resumed daily flights to New York as it moves to cash in ongoing demand for air travel on that particular route, with the mere fact that the carrier had increased the flight frequency on the route to 5 times per week from the 3 last year in December, citing high passenger bookings. Now, the higher demand is a positive signal for the tourism sector, for which the US remains the largest overseas source market, accounting for 16% of the 870,465 visitors into the country last year. The carrier has also increased frequencies on routes such as Paris to daily flights from 5 times a week, Madagascar to 9 times per week from 7, then Comoros to 5 times weekly from 4, Amsterdam to 5 times a week from 4, Johannesburg to 34 times from 4 weekly, and London to 14 times from 12 times. Now, KQ has grappled with fluctuating demand on the United States route since the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, hence the shifting flight frequencies. Kenya Airways started direct flights to the JF Kennedy International Airport in New York from Nairobi's Jomo Kenyatta International Airport in October 2018, with the route seen as a key to reviving the airline's fortunes. It has, however, been struggling with low numbers on the route since it resumed operations following a month of grounding occasioned by the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, this flight allows the airline to benefit from connecting travelers who transit through the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport in Nairobi from other African capitals, direct access to the world's largest economy in the United States. Well, as you can see, now routes from Kenya Airways, that is from Kenya to New York to the JF Kennedy International Airport, you'll definitely be getting 5 trips per week. It has previously been 3 weeks, and of course, the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, by the way, is one of the most busiest airports within the East African Community region. And with this particular one, they do believe with the rising of these particular demands in routes, they will be experiencing a revamp of the national carrier in Kenya. Kenya Airways has been one of the entire airlines on the radar in business news. Reason being, they've been counteracting with most of the challenges, especially when it comes to the fact that they've been incurring some losses. Then the government has been trying to bail them out. And also, previously, President William Ruto was looking to sell off the state's stake to a more rich airline. And he was actually having at least agreements and discussions with the Delta Airlines to see if they can buy off the state-owned stake within the Kenya Airways. Okay. Now, besides that, still with Karibu East Africa, we then cross our eyes to Rwanda. Loans disbursed to teachers are up by 40% after salary rise. The teachers have requested adjustments to credit terms in Umwalimu Savings and Credit Cooperatives, the Umwalimu Ssonko, and consider extending the repayment period from 3 years to 5 years so that the increased salary advance loans benefits many of them. They made this appeal on Wednesday during the 25th General Assembly of Umwalimu Ssonko held in Kigali. The management of this financial institution announced that during the assembly that the maximum loan a teacher is entitled to is increased from 3.5 million randis franc to 5 million randis franc. This follows an increase of primary school teachers' salaries by 88% and those of secondary school teachers by 40% in August this year, as well as the 5 billion randis franc government contribution that boosted the liquidity of Umwalimu Ssonko. Lawrence Ubanje, who is the Director General of Umwalimu Ssonko, said it was realized that over 20,950 members will be entitled to the increased loan as they have required capacity to its total assets, which grew up by 30% from 110 billion randis franc as of November 2021 to 143 billion randis franc as of November 2022. Now, on return on investment, Uwambaje said that its profit before tax payment was 4.2 billion randis franc as of November 2022, which is 25% higher than 9.8 billion randis franc registered in the same period of last year. Loans from Umwalimu Ssonko are charged at 13% interest rate per year for public teachers, and then 14% of non-public teachers members. Information from the financial institution that indicate. Now, meanwhile, again on Wednesday, Umwalimu Ssonko launched digital products including internet banking, which also includes online emergency loan and the e-tax payment, which it said are in line with the ensuring efficiency in the financial service delivery and the financial delivery of its members plus customers under the Umwalimu. So there is also a situation whereby the salary cap has increased in Rwanda, which has actually led to the loans disbursed by teachers to rise up by 40%. Another added advantage for teachers. Of course, that is it for Karibu East Africa this morning. Now let's cross over to the international scene to see what is making headlines from the world of business. And with the international scene, we start off from the United States as the House of Representatives has banned TikTok from their official devices. TikTok has been banned from electronic devices managed by the U.S. House of Representatives. This is according to an internal notice sent to the House staff. Users who install the short-form video app on any House mobile device will be asked to remove the software, according to the notice, which was provided to CNN by the Office of the Chief Administrative Officer. Now, apparently, the notice identifies TikTok as a high risk to users due to a number of security risks. Separately, the US government is also soon expected to ban TikTok from all federal devices, a part of legislation included in the $1.7 trillion omnibus bill awaiting President Joe Biden's signature. The move comes after more than a dozen states in recent weeks have implemented their own prohibition against TikTok on government devices. TikTok has previously called efforts to ban the app from government devices a political gesture that will do nothing to advance national security interests. TikTok declined to comment on the House restrictions and why they were banned. Then the US policymakers have cited TikTok as a potential national security risk, saying that the Chinese government could pressure TikTok or its parent company ByteDance into handing over the personal information of its US users, which could then be used for Chinese intelligence operations or the spreading of Chinese-backed disinformation. There is no evidence that what has actually occurred, though the company last week confirmed that it had fired 4 employees who improperly accessed the TikTok user data or 2 journalists on the platform. Now, since 2020, TikTok has been negotiating with the US government on a potential deal to resolve the national security concerns and allow the app to remain available to US users. But TikTok has said that the potential agreement under review will cover key concerns around corporate governance, content recommendation, and then moderation and data security, plus the access of it. Then the company has also taken some steps to wall off US user data. Now, if you look at the organizational and technological part of it, other parts of TikTok's business are definitely gaining some good money. But an apparent lack of progress in the talks has led some of TikTok's critics, including in Congress at the state level, to push for the app to be banned from government devices and potentially more broadly. So TikTok may be out of the United States. One of the reasons behind why it was banned from the House of Representatives is because of the security issues and the high risk to users due to a number of security risks, according to sources from the United States. And the United States government is also expected to ban it from the federal government devices in the later weeks to come. Now back to Africa with the international news. We head to South Africa as there's serious load shedding in there. Power cuts have forced companies to scale back. Apparently, in South Africa, if you're to look at this, electricity load shedding has forced companies to scale back just as the country was recovering from the COVID-19 health crisis. Cities such as Johannesburg struggle with an overburdened power grid and failing infrastructures. 2022 has been one of the worst years for South Africa in terms of power cuts and the ongoing load shedding in the country. The country was prey to more than 200 days of load shedding as state-owned Eskom, which supplies more than 90% of the country's electricity, failed to produce enough power. In Uganda, though, Eskom's contract does expire in 2023 and the government won't renew it. Now, after a lull over Christmas, power cuts are slowly resuming. The downturn is due to ill-managed aging coal-fired power stations that regularly break down. In addition, these blackouts are having a direct impact on the economy and growth, just as the country was recovering from the COVID-19 health crisis. Many companies, such as KFC, have been forced to scale back due to the load shedding. Now, in Joburg, electricity cuts in combination with the persistent rain has the city struggling with an overburdened grid and failing infrastructure. The Eastern Cape has also witnessed high volumes of electricity interruptions. Now, the Department of Mineral Resources and Energy did quickly sign off 13 new power generation agreements to bring close to 100 to 1,800 megawatts online over the next few years in an attempt to remedy the current energy crisis. So that is what is coming in from South Africa. Could clearly be one of the other concerns that have been happening within Uganda with Umeme. Well, remember Umeme, with also conglomerate of Eskom, would not get its renewal of the contract that will be expiring in 2025. On the other hand, Eskom has a contract that is expiring next year. Is by the way to actually come to. But apparently, that is what is coming in from South Africa. Now, lastly, we switch our eyes to Japan from the international outlets to see what is coming in from there as well. Japan has eased COVID caps on flights from Hong Kong after a backlash. Japan has partially eased COVID-19 restrictions, limiting flights from Hong Kong to a handful of designated airports following protests by the Chinese territory government. Japan, which is a popular destination for Hong Kong residents, will now allow travelers from the financial hub to fly into 7 Japanese airports, up from 4 previously. Now, Tokyo announced on Wednesday that flights from Hong Kong, Macau, and mainland China would only be accepted at Tokyo's Narita and Haneda, Kasai in Osaka, and Chubu in Nagoya from Friday, amid concerns about the potential emergency of a new COVID variant in China. Under these rules, travelers from Hong Kong will also be able to fly into the cities of Chitose, Fukuoka, and Naha, provided they have not been on mainland China. Within the past 7 days, the United Kingdom is also considering introducing similar measures, according to what local media is reporting in the UK. Now, Hong Kong's Transport Department revealed that it was greatly disappointed by Japanese authorities' hasty decision during the peak tourism season, and it had contacted the Japanese side to solemnly request a reverse of the decision. Hong Kong had some of the world's toughest and long-lasting COVID caps throughout the pandemic, including a policy of mandatory hotel quarantine that lasted 2.5 years. So the Chinese territory on Wednesday scrapped most of its last remaining pandemic restrictions, including COVID-19 tests, rests for arrivals, and vaccine passes for venues such as restaurants and bars. So that is where you can easily see what is coming in from Hong Kong and South Africa, as well as what is making headlines from the United States, banning on the House of Representatives. Karibu, East Africa, so is international updates this morning. Now, besides that, as we're summing up this particular second hour of show, I'm just quickly reminding you that the issue is investing has been made easy with Zabo. Zabo, platform by Altec East Africa, says you can use the USSD code *292#. It can definitely be very simple and easier for you. It is a no hassle whatsoever, and you can definitely follow up and see what else you can do for yourself. It is as easy as that. If you are to start off your investment journey, well, quickly kickstart it off with a minimum of 15,000 Ugandan shillings, and it's definitely going to make some good ends meet for you as an individual. It's that simple, it's that affordable, and of course quite efficient for the rest of the people out there. Zabu, platform by Politics East Africa, says do something new as today. Well, markets open at 8:15 a.m., close at 3:15 p.m. East African Standard Time. These markets are closed on weekends and during public holidays. Zabu says, my money, my future. Politics East Africa, do something. Well, quickly do follow us on our social media platforms, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. On Twitter, we are Smart24TV, Instagram, Smart24_TV, and Facebook is Smart24TV Official. And of course, besides that same situation, you get to realize that you can also get onto our website, www.smart24.tv, and our YouTube channel is Smart24TV Live. We are streaming definitely there. You can follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Joram Ssonko for more business updates, as well as more interactions in that same space. As we continue to drive business, I will be definitely getting into a commercial break. When I do return at the top of the hour, we have more discussions coming up. We will be breaking down sectors, how they performed entirely in 2022. Besides that, I've got more coming in from the world of sports business, the entertainment business as well, and also not forgetting the social media trends. Good morning.
Smart 24, driving business.